Do you agree that, it's time that we all wake up and take responsibility, even for our ancestors that did not know any better?
Been waiting patiently to have this kind of conversation. Well, it's Wake Up with Casey. I'm Kimberly. And, I find people and places fascinating. So when I come across somebody that lives in, like, for example, Iceland, never been there. So I'm curious. And not only is this guest, he's a former police officer, but he became an actor. So please welcome Einar Haraldsson. Einar, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm pleased.
I'm curious. I think when growing up, if I heard him or, Iceland mentioned, I thought that it was just a place where there's just ice everywhere. Is that true?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. We have all this green now. There's no snow.
No snow, but it's called Iceland.
Yeah, we have only the glacier. We have no snow.
Oh, wow. Does it get cold?
It can be in the winter. It can be on minus maybe 15 on Celsius.
Oh, snap. So please tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you've been a police officer for over 20 years in Iceland.
Yeah. I started in the police force in 1974, and I was elected as a Secretary General for International Police Association, Icelandic section. And I was invited to travel around the world to see how the police are working and what they are doing. And 1981, I was invited to LAPD for 6 weeks. So I accepted and stayed there for 6 weeks and see how they're. And some of my colleagues there, they were bodyguards for celebrities up in Beverly Hills. So we went there, and I met some of the celebrities, and they encouraged me to, when I retired, why not start in acting. I have this skills. They found me like I was always laughing, always happy, and positive. See positive in everything, and so when I left the police force here, 1993. I wasn't to think about it until 2005. Then I said, "Oh, okay." It was interesting, and that's how it started. I went to the school here, and I got a part in TV series here, 8 TV series, and 1 movie, and then I have been 2 movies in the U.S. So that's how it is, and it's all grow up more and more. I'm happy for it.
Well, that's very interesting. It's sort of like, you meet connections and things open up in the right timing, and it seemed like it was perfect timing for you. Yeah. But let me go back a little bit. Being in Iceland, you're a police officer and everything, and knowing what's been going on even in the 80s when you came here to the United States with the LAPD. Mm-hmm. What's the difference based on in Iceland with gun violence and coming to America and seeing what's going on in America with the gun violence?
It's a huge difference because here in Iceland we don't carry a gun at all. We have our own. We have our SWAT team, but a normal police officer, they don't have a gun. Then when I came to Los Angeles, and then I was a little bit shocked to see how they. Because first I went to a patrol with them. The first thing they taught me is this is a shotgun. This how it is used. This is yours while you are in the car. So I thought, oh, okay. And but I of course we are trained here for using a gun. We have our range, shooting range, but carry a gun now. But in LA, I had to know how to handle this shotgun. And yeah, then we went out to patrol on night shift, and I had to be ready. It was a little bit shocked.
I
But-
bet. And so in Iceland, you don't, police officers don't wear guns, but is guns even allowed in Iceland, or?
Yeah, it is for. You're not allowed to have a pistol. No one is. Only the police officer are allowed to have a pistol. No one else. You can have a shotgun, or you can have a rifle. Only to hunting, but nothing else. And not all. You have to go to the special training with these guns.
Oh, special
all-
training?
Yeah, and all people are registered. And if you have a bad record, sorry, you're not. You're not in there.
So
We have access. We have our we have very good control over here.
it sounds that way, but then I'm questioning, well, why can't we have that same kind of system set up here?
Yeah.
And you coming here and getting the shock of your life of how things are going on, especially with gun violence. What are your thoughts about that?
I think, of course, each county can have a registered on that in US. I think so. It's not difficult. It's absolutely not difficult, even though it's a big country. Iceland is only we are only 360,000 people population here, all in all. But even though it's you can have a control over that in US.
Okay. And Iceland is a little different.
Yeah.
There is a lot of hunting. You have hunting seasons there too.
Yeah.
And that's mainly what people use it for. What is the I guess gun incidents in Iceland, if there is any?
No, it's never an incident with the guns here in Iceland. Never been. And also, I think in the US you is in the worse situation because I don't know, because they have already with the criminals there. They used to have a gun. Everybody can get a gun. Just around the corner, you can buy a gun for a few dollars. So here, you cannot even buy a gun here.
Well, I know I did I had to go through a background check. I had to take a course.
Yeah.
And then I got a certificate. And I go to target practice just to, practice the safety because it's a 9mm Glock.
Yeah.
But I practice the safety. I maintain the gun. I make sure it's wiped down, make sure everything is, functioning. And to me, it's just using common sense and being responsible with it.
Yeah.
and I don't want to ever be in a situation where I have to use it.
No.
But let me tell you something. I have a mindset. If you're going to come and take my life, I'll take yours first before you try to take mine.
Of course, everybody thinks like that. It's a normal. It's a normal. When I was I've been a few times in LA, and I went to I would like to have a gun, even though I didn't live there. It was so easy for me to get a license. It took only 1 week for me to get a license.
Okay, so what is the difference in the training program there to get even a rifle? And how long does it take?
It takes 14 days and you have to on a school with the police, where you are the rules and regulations and all that, how the gun works, and what is the reason you are having the gun, and you have to explain everything. And then we do a background check on everyone.
So it's like a 14-day, or maybe is it 14 or 10 days? Like 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. 2 weeks.
So it'd be like Monday through Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a little bit interesting. And I find that fascinating because to me, I only had to take a 1-day course. And I think based on what's going on, is it agreeable to say that something definitely has to change with the gun violence that is happening and people, these massive shootings and whatnot across my country?
Yeah.
Like something's got to change. This old system, this old way of thinking it's killing more lives thinking so small.
Also, I think also in the U.S., even the parents are teaching their kids how to use a gun. Even the kids, they know how to use a machine gun. I have seen that they have a machine gun in their home. What is the reason have a machine gun in their home? Okay, I understand the pistol. You have to your family have to be secure. But what's the reason to have a machine gun or heavy guns in your home? I don't understand. I never understood that.
Well, I've heard, we could go hunting with it, and you can, shoot out of a further distance, and
with a machine gun,
my home. It's my right to bear arms, and I'm like, okay, you could get a rifle, but if you have to have something that has, 20 to 50 to 100 rounds,
M16 or like that, and what is the reason the people have that in their home? M16. What is the reason? You are going hunting with that? What kind of animal are you going to shoot?
Yeah, right.
The rifle, shotgun, pistol, that I understand. I would accept that, but the machine guns, that no reason. Should not be allowed.
I mean, I've always thought that, what is it, the AR-15s or something, AR-17s, that was like military.
Uh-huh.
If you are a retired, military, you are a sniper and everything, you've earned the training to have one of those.
Uh-huh.
As long as you get a mental checkup, because
exactly.
When you go through wars and the PTSD, I do recall there was a movie about a guy that was like that and wind up killing himself later, and there was a movie documentary about that.
Yeah,
that's when I think that for safety reasons, that's when the gun should be removed. And I can understand if you're out like in what, North Dakota, South Dakota, way up there, what is it, Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana. There's some big critters out there. And I could see having a rifle, a shotgun,
Yeah.
and carrying
That's
a
okay.
9mm.
Yeah, I understand that, but the other heavy weapon, no. That's also because the criminals there, they are also using this machine guns. That's a problem, of course.
Well, my question is, how are these criminals getting them?
Yeah, it's so easy to get them. Unfortunately, very easy.
It's just like if
They import them. They import them, tons of machine guns into the U.S. from Mexico, from everywhere.
Oh wow, and it's still going on.
Yeah, still going on.
So it's actually like a money-making business.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, whose hands are dirty in this money-making business? I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right.
Because one is turning the cheek, and the other one's like this. Okay.
Yeah. And some of them have a big drawer. They open it, just the drawer, and you just put the money in there.
Right.
That's maybe that also.
But it's like, when is the mind? I guess the question I'm asking is like, I don't feel humanity is supposed to exist like this. And, what's got to change? What is a better solution? Because this has been going on way too long. And it just seems like, we vote for these government officials to come in to make the change.
Yeah.
And it's still it's like two different parties.
Yeah, it's a very difficult.
Over this toy of who gets what, and the problem's not being solved. So, based on you coming here to America and what how things have been going for pretty good over in Iceland, what could you share some like wisdom, knowledge of probably a solution to this problem?
No,
Uh-oh, we lost him. Damn, that was a good question. Oh, now what? Oh, he'll come back. I hope. This was a good conversation. Just saying. I hope he does come back, because I'd like to know that. He's back. See? I told you.
Yeah, sorry, something went wrong.
That's okay. At least you got to come back. But can you offer a solution to the problems that we're dealing with this gun issue?
If I have a solution, I would change the world. But sorry, I cannot. Because in the U.S., it has been that for hundreds of years. So I think it's very difficult to change it. Of course, it has to change like small, but totally changing. Even though the government would put a law of anything, people are not follow that. Absolutely not. They have an illegal weapon then. Here in Iceland, we had like that. Everybody had a machine guns. They have all kinds of guns. We said in the police force, you have exactly 6 months to deliver the weapons to the police station, nearest police station. You will not be accused for anything. We will not file a charge on you. And people, they came, deliver hundreds of weapons, all kinds of weapons. from the World War II, and I think they delivered it. That so we have very good because we are small. I'm sure of that, but and have a solution for you. Sorry, I don't have that.
Well, I think that 2-week program to get, registered and a certificate of completion, that to me, that's one possible solution of
Yeah.
making some changes for the better of how people get access to guns.
Mm-hmm.
And, you talk about heavy machinery and, all these automatic ones. Well, what is the purpose of you having one? Asking the right questions. And then, then if you're going to use that for this, then there's another training you have to go to.
Yeah. They said, okay, I using it for hunting. Okay, hunting what? Hunting people or hunting animals? That is what are you going to use it? That's a very very difficult.
I mean, I shot an AR-17, and it was just like the only thing I could say about that experience. It was, I think, what was it, 100 feet? I mean, it was a distance. Let's just put it that way. And then you got to get a scope.
Yeah.
You see, and I'm like, why? After I thought about it, I was like, well, why do I want to have all this work, put all this equipment together to shoot 100 feet where I can't really see even with my glasses on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can understand if someone's coming at me, 10, 20, maybe even 40, 50.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, wow. This is what people, and I know there are some that just love to just do that. Go to a target range and use that gun for that.
Yeah. That's true, but yeah, but also in the U.S., I'm not sure how they keep the weapon. Or they only keep it under the bed, or just in the closet. Here, you have to have a special closet, a locked closet, like a bank box.
Wow.
Yeah. If you don't have that in your house to keep the weapon, you're not allowed to have the weapon.
Well, that's an interesting concept. I sort of like that idea. Maybe that's another solution, Einar.
Because so the kids don't take the weapons. Only one adult have the key of this closet. Here the closet is just like a bank box.
Or like a safe.
Safe,
kind of a vault of some sort.
Yeah.
Wow, I think that's a good solution too. To where if you have those kind of guns, then you've got to have a special, one key, and to where it will, eliminate some of the deaths of, kids getting a hold of their parents' guns when they're not home.
Yeah. You see in the news many times that the kids are going to school with the guns and start to shoot the kids. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, I remember Columbine. Then there is I think it's Sandbrook. I mean, there's so many others that but those two really, come to mind right now. And then with this pandemic, the suicide rate.
Yeah.
We
have that also here, like a suicide. We have because in the winter we have in the summertime we have 24 hours daylight. From June to August to September, it's 24 hours daylight. In the wintertime, we have only 3 hours daylight. So it's huge different. And in December, January, February, it's the most high-rated suicide months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because of it being nighttime for 24 hours?
Yeah. People are just depressed. I went 1 week when I was in the force for 1 week. I went to the 8 suicides for 1 week.
Wow.
So it's a huge. People think, oh, Iceland, they are so happy, but when it comes to winter, we have a cold. Then we have a snow, and yeah.
Wow. I mean, like, I can't even imagine it. I live in Florida.
Yeah.
And, you know, to be the sun shining for 24 hours for several months, I don't know how I would handle it. I mean, you could probably get the
blinder,
shades kind of thing to help you sleep at night. But then what do you do for the night? Do you get a spotlight to get you lit up outside when it's dark outside so you could do things? I mean,
you can even go sunbathing and after midnight here. Sun is shining.
Yeah, but then what happens when it's nighttime for 24 hours?
Yeah, then that's a huge difference. That's a time when people are depressed.
I begin a huge spotlight and put it outside. I'm like, come on, let's go.
yeah, because many people here, then they travel to Spain or travel southbound where the sun is shining, and just to have it otherwise not in Iceland.
Wow, that's
they even go to Florida. Many Icelanders, they go to Florida in the wintertime. They have a house there.
Well, that makes sense. I would, do that so I wouldn't have to be in dark 24/7 for a couple months. That would be just like, oh my God.
I had 2 visitors here. They left today. They were American. I said to them when they came here, so welcome to Iceland. What are you going to do? We have a 24 hours daylight. What? Do you have that? the woman said, "Oh, I have I blinded for the eyes." I said, "That's good." And of course, the hotels, they have a window blinded dark, so they have a dark inside.
Oh wow!
But this is an experience what tourists see.
I bet it is, and then there's a lot of history in Iceland, isn't there?
Yeah, we have, for example, now it's a very big tourist attraction. We have a volcano now, and we have lots of things. We have a blue lagoon, we have a sky lagoon, we have a mountain, we have a waterfalls, we have a geyser, we have everything.
Wow, I look forward to. I hope one day I get to come to Iceland.
Welcome.
So what are you working on now in the acting business? Do you got any, I mean, with this pandemic and everything
Yeah, it's very difficult. At the moment, there is nothing to do at the moment, but I have been finishing one TV series, Black Sands. It was my latest. Then I'm waiting to go to the States. I have their project. My PR, Stephen, he's working on it. He's a good fellow.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And so are you guys still like in a lockdown there?
No, all is open. All is open. Everybody is welcome here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't
Only
know.
prob-
I've never been there, so I was like, and this new variant coming out, I was just wondering like how other places are,
there's nothing here. Nothing at all. That's why Iceland opened. The first tourists who were allowed to come to Iceland were American. But then we also thinking, why can we not go to America?
Yeah, why can't you go to America?
Yeah, that's your government. They say all closed, all closed.
Oh,
Yeah. If you can come to Iceland, why can we not go? What is the difference? We are virus free. The only country in the world who is virus free. We don't even carry a mask or nothing.
wow. So why can't you leave? They don't want you leaving to go get the virus, but yet they're letting Americans and other people come in. And how do they know if they're vaccinated or not?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you know when you'll be able to leave?
I think it's they are talking about October. The U.S. will be open for us. I think the foreign minister talked about maybe in October it will be open.
Oh, wow. Because I know the variant's not.
My schedule is in January.
Oh, wow.
So.
Because the variant here is spreading, and I'm vaccinated, so
Yeah, me too. I'm also.
I had some side effects, and I got through it, and I'm like, okay, I'm vaxxed. I did the visor.
What did you get?
The visor.
Oh, Pfizer. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I went through my research, and it was like 80, 90 pages of information about Pfizer. Okay. And then, they did the placebo, and then they did, the Pfizer, and, the reaction to this, the reaction to that, and whatnot. And I was just overwhelmed with all the information.
Okay.
But I was impressed with the data and all the information that was available to me. Moderna, there's only 11 pages.
Okay.
And I forget Johnson & Johnson. No.
No. I have AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca. I have AstraZeneca.
Oh, okay.
My wife has Pfizer.
And how did she do with the Pfizer?
It's okay. She didn't feel anything.
See, my partner is like, I'm wondering if that stuff really works because I didn't feel nothing. However, you did. You were in bed for a day. And I'm like, yeah, I told you I was sensitive.
They say that if you will be sick, then this medicine have effect on you. If you don't feel anything or something's wrong, you have to feel something. I was a little bit tired, but okay. But now I'm. Okay.
Well, the first shot, his arm was sore. My arm was sore. I couldn't move it.
No, yeah.
The second shot, my whole body ached, and I felt like I didn't feel good, and I just laid in bed all day.
Okay. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal.
I'm like, how long is this gonna last? Because I got an interviews to do tomorrow. So there went that. But the next day I felt a little bit better, and I just kept, trucking along.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to having you come down to the United States.
I'm looking forward to also. I cannot wait.
So I put all your information I was trying to get your IMB link.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out how to get access to it.
Try.
Yeah, try. I'll figure it out.
But you have my website?
Yes, I have your website listed so people can check you out.
Yeah.
And I thank you for sharing your, your thoughts and your story and, the experiences of being a police officer and the whole huge difference from being in one country and then coming over here and then like, what the kind of moment.
I've been in many countries. I've been in Russia. I've been in Spain, Italy, Greece. I've been in Norway, Sweden, Finland, Germany, Italy. All just see how the police work. But the longest time.
Is it? How I'm like, what's the difference with these other places that you've been, and what's the similarities compared to over there in the U.S.? Can you share?
Yeah, but the worst country, unfortunately, the worst country I was in was in Georgia, former Russia. The police are only standing on the corner. If you give them money, then they will then they start talking. They are not doing anything. But similarly, I think the U.S. is the only country. It's a unique. It's a only country which they take the pistol first up and ask later. That's police officers. But the other country, for example, in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, if you take a pistol up, you will be in the court. You will be this. You're not allowed to take up only for your if you're in real danger, you can take a pistol out. But in the U.S., the first thing they do, take a pistol. It's a whole otherwise country. Unfortunately, I experienced that when I was with the police. They're just like acting for me. I said, "Am I on the front of the camera or what?" Just like you have to do this, you have to do that. That's how we do. Just like they're acting for me. I don't like it. I want to see the real, how it is. Maybe they are trying to be good. I'm not sure. Hopefully. But my colleagues there, I appreciate them. They are doing, of course, they are doing a good job, and of course, they're always the black sheep in the horse. Always, it's everywhere like that.
Right, and you mentioned something about the definitely bad seat, but I just had a brain fart. Oh my God. Because you said something, I was like, oh yeah, what about this? And I'm trying to remember what it was. Don't you just love that when that happens? Traveling to all these places and seeing how they, I guess, protocol and who can have guns, who can't, and whatnot. What did you find fascinating and very, I don't know if I want to say helpful, but it made sense going to like Finland, Sweden, Italy, Spain, and all those.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean. What?
Well, how they do things in these other countries that you've been to.
For example, in Norwegian country, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and yeah, they have a similar law in their country. No one is allowed to have a pistol, except the police officers. I think also in Germany it's the same. But they have also a problem, like in the US, they have about the guns. They have also a problem in Italy also.
Oh, in Italy too? A problem with
Yeah,
guns?
yeah.
Wow.
That's a problem. But I think if the government are strong enough, they can do something. But just like they talk before election, they talk, and after election, everything is forgotten.
Well, I tell and speak of, history is repeating itself. It's just a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to wake up?
Yeah. And also, I think each county or each in the U.S. they have their own law, of course, and they can.
Well, they got state.
Yeah,
and
they can do it. Why not? For example, Arkansas or Texas or California, or they can change the law. They can do it, of course.
Well, they got to pass the bill. Then it has to go to all that protocol.
Bureaucracy. That's a I called.
But I think that people have forgotten some key elements of our history of, back in the early 1700s when all this, the Bill of Rights and the Constitution came out.
Yeah.
I think there's some ignorance in a lot of people about the true essence of why this was created, and it was back in those times. We're not in the 1776s anymore. It evolved. That was written for that circumstance in that time period, in that era. Would you agree?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think most of Americans think they are still in the 70s. That's the problem. They are still sleeping. They are not. They haven't wake up. We are living here in the 20th century, so they are still in this old.
Yeah, old thinking, old patterns, old energy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I want to thank you, Einar, for joining me today, and being able to speak about this in another perspective, because you're all the way over in Iceland, but your experience of being a police officer and being able to travel and whatnot. Thank you for sharing that with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
I so appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Always a pleasure, Einar.
Okay.
I'll let you know when I'm coming to Iceland.
Yeah, do that.
Well, there you go. I've never been outside the U.S., and I always wanted to know what it was like somewhere else. And I'm so thankful that Einar came to share some of his story and his experience from being a police officer's point of view in other places, in other countries. So look forward to many more great interviews with some great guests.
Do you agree that, it's time that we all wake up and take responsibility, even for our ancestors that did not know any better?
Been waiting patiently to have this kind of conversation.